Our color guard is provided by East Aurora Naval Junior ROTC Corps. The Naval ROTC unit is in its 18th year and is the largest in the nation with approximately 985 student cadets. The unit's drill and color guard team accomplishments are 7-time area state champions and have reached the Navy's national competitions in Pensacola, Florida for 7 years, capturing the 2014 national championship. In color guard competitions, the unarmed drill team was awarded first place overall in the nation at Daytona, Florida this year. Today's color guard participants are carrying the American flag, Cadet Master Chief Petty Officer Angie Rodriguez, carrying the Navy flag, Cadet Master Chief Petty Officer Jennifer Cepeda, carrying the right rifle, Cadet Senior Chief Petty Officer Maria Gonzalez, carrying the left rifle, Cadet Master Chief Petty Officer Selena Valenciano. After the national anthem, please sit. Okay. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and my Uncle Jim is going to lead us on that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much to the Junior ROTC. That's an unbelievable group of young people that are at East Aurora right now, and they're just Aurora's really proud of all of them. Thanks to the football team for popping in, you guys. We're on this. Roman, my grandson Roman, and I have been. We've been invited to kind of patrol the sidelines this year at some of their games. And these young men have really got that program back on their feet, and we're looking for big things out of them. And this is just Benny Kenyon. Thanks, Benny, for bringing the boys. We're going to bring up Father Leak for the invocation.
First, I want to thank you for being invited to say the invocation. I've known the Dolan family since 1968, when I came to Our Lady Good Counsel as a new young priest in that, and even taught some of them in high school and tried to coach them a little bit in basketball and that, and so I feel greatly honored to be able to pray with you today. We bow our heads, putting ourselves in the presence of the all-powerful Creator, who billions of years ago created the world and looked down upon the world and said, "It is good what I have created." And I'm sure as he looks down upon us gathered here at 7 and Watson this morning, he says the same thing. It is good for all these people from the City of Aurora to come here to honor Mr. Dan Dolan. When God first created the world, he said, "I want you to help me to create the world. I will give you talents and gifts. Please be good stewards." And as we look over the life of Dan Dolan, we see that he has been a great steward of all the many great gifts that God has given him, sharing them with the city. We ask God that he continue to bless him and anybody who drives down the street, that they be able to imitate Mr. Dan Dolan in their life to help continue to build the City of Aurora. We ask that you continue to bless us and all have gathered here and the Dolan family. We offer this prayer. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father. Before I bring up Mayor Weisner, I'd just like to thank, first of all, Chuck Nelson, who's we have a Danny Platt, and I have a slogan, well, more than Danny Platt and I, but Southeast Side is what we've been talking about all our lives. And Chuck Nelson, good Southeast Side boy. Chuck and I started talking about this a few years ago, and he was really instrumental in bringing this to pass. He's had some health issues lately, so he passed it on to Alex Boyd and Gina Moga, and I want to thank both of them for doing such a tremendous job. This was put together pretty quick, and they did a great job. If you can give them a hand. Also like to thank the mayor and the city council. You know, not everybody gets this honor, and they took it upon themselves. They thought it was a timely time to honor Dad, and we want to thank all of the City of Aurora, the mayor, and the city council. Like Ryan said, that you know, they are our partners in our business, and they've been tremendous for us, and we really thank them a lot for this honor today. So at this time, I'd like to bring His Honor Mayor Thomas J. Weisner up for a proclamation and remarks.
Yeah, I don't know how you did it without any hair up there for all this. little nippy out there. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Great day here in Aurora. What a great crowd, too. We just have people from every walk of life in this city, and that's because Dan Dolan has been a friend to all of us. Easy guy to get to know, an easy guy to get to love. He's very much a gentleman, and very much a good businessman, too, as we've seen over the years. And much of Aurora, we're now the second largest city in the state, and that's well recognized across the state, I can tell you, as mayor. And a lot of the reason for that is the efforts of Dan Dolan, Danny D. Dolan, and his entire family over many decades. And I like to think that not only are we the second largest city in the state, that we are indeed, in terms of quality, second to none. And Mr. Dolan's had a lot to do with that as well. There are so many people in the crowd that deserve to be recognized that I'm not going to do it, because we'd be here all day, I think, and then I'd probably miss one person and be in trouble in the process. But what a great bunch of folks that are out here today. What an honor it is for Mr. Dolan, I'm sure, to see all these old friends, all these people who have accomplished a lot themselves here to honor him today. But if I could, I'm just going to share with you a proclamation, and it goes as follows. Whereas Dan D. Dolan is a lifelong Aurora resident, having been born in Aurora and graduating from Our Lady of Good Counsel in 1945 and East Aurora High School in 1949, and whereas Dan served in the Navy for 4 years on the USS Knapp during the Korean conflict and returned to his hometown and became a fireman for approximately 5 years before going into the real estate business. And whereas in 1965, Dolan and Murphy formed their commercial investment real estate firm and soon thereafter adopted the motto, if it's good for Dolan and Murphy, it's good for Aurora. And whereas over nearly 50 years, the Dolan and Murphy team has developed or assisted with the development of major projects in Aurora, including the I-88 and Farnsworth Interchange, the Butterfield Development Project at I-88 and Neola, and the Indian Trail Extension. And whereas Dan has remained committed to Aurora through civic endeavors, sponsoring the Dolan and Murphy Shamrock Fast Pitch softball team and taking an active role in Aurora Central Catholic's high school building program, and in recognition of his many community contributions, was named the Grand Marshal of the 2004 Independence Day Parade. And whereas Mr. Dolan's version of Oh Danny Boy is unparalleled and can bring a tear even to the eye of an Englishman. Now therefore, I, Thomas J. Weisner, Mayor of the City of Aurora, on behalf of the Aurora City Council, many of whom are represented today, and the 200,000 residents of our fair city, convey our admiration and thanks to Mr. Dolan for his lifetime of commitment to our community, as I hereby proclaim October 18th, 2014, Dan D. Dolan Day in Aurora, Illinois.
I could, Kathy, my wife Kathy, and all the kids and Uncle Jim and all the Dolan family, can you come on over here? all the grandkids, great grandkids, great grandkids. All done. Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. But if we can get everybody to stand over here, that did empty half the crowd. All right.
Here, Jamie.
There's Ty.
Thought he was out.
Just over here. Yeah, we'd all like you to say a few words. So. And we'd like to thank Gina for that flyover that just came over. That was a touch of class, Gina. Okay, now for the man of honor, the man of the day. You know, I don't want to get talking too much. I'd spend a half an hour talking about my father, but everybody knows how much he's loved, and certainly loved by his family, and I know by this town. So at this time, I'd like to bring up Dan D. Dolan.
What a crew here. Let me ask you, can you hear me? Because every time I've been on this mic the last 3 times, they said no. I just can't express my feelings here for such an outpouring of friendship and love and affection here from so many people. My God, there's no way to explain how I feel this moment. And as you may see, I've been afraid of dogs all my life. That was from my meal. What was that? Oh, it's an Irish letter, all right. Irish, go Irish. Oh, God, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I wanted to you can see we indoctrinate our kids early. I just want to go back to this tremendous outpouring of friendship and people I've loved and run with all my life. It's just so touching. I can't explain the feeling. As the boys were saying, I grew up with my 4 brothers in a little brown house over there on Watson Street. I don't think there were ever 5 of us in one bedroom, because I think Jimmy came after my brother Joe. I had a brother Joe that drowned when he was 14. It was the first trip we ever took. We went to Nebraska to my Uncle Dan's, and we lost Joe between grade school and high school. But our home there on Watson Street, as I was thinking the last couple nights, what the reflections I have back to those days so many years ago, and how life was so different, and I hate to say it, but much nicer, much kinder, much seemed like much more love and affection and respect for authority. But Watson Street here, you didn't have one parent. We had the Kirks next to us, the Buckleys. We had Howie Seidelman's mother down the street, Mr. Weingartner, Dee and Donnie Larson's mom and dad. Any one of them on the block see you do anything out of line, hey, they'd grab you by the ear and say, hey, one more time your mother's gonna hear about it, you're gonna get a smack. So at that time we had such a extended family, and we had a double lot there at the house. And when my older brothers, John and Joe and Bill, they were all 5 to 10 years older than I am. And then my brother Jimmy is 5 years younger than I am. But when I was growing up, that was kind of a track area there around the house. They had a pole vaulting pit and a high jumping pit and a ring they made out of hoses in the backyard where they boxed. And it was just a great way to grow up. And you know, your mom and dad would put you on the street at 8 o'clock in the morning, didn't care if they saw you again till 5 because they weren't worried about you. I can remember dribbling a basketball from here to 11 on the playground 1,000 times, or in winter dribbling it down in that little basement, you know. And I had a big old weight bag hanging from a tree out in that yard. I just beat that devil out all the time. I don't know why I was so angry at it. But so many things like that came flooding back at me, and like Brian said, my mom lost her eyesight just about when my brother Joe drowned, and nobody would hardly ever know it because she just got by beautifully her whole life, and always a pot roast or a pork roast on the table, and butter cookies, and breakfast, and Danny asked if they could forget the milk toasted. As I grew up, milk toast was like a chicken soup to a Jewish family. It fixed everything. Hot milk toast. So, I can remember one time when I was about 4 years old, I walked over to Good Counsel, and my brothers Johnny, Joe, and Bill were all in school, and I'm out there yelling, Johnny, Joe, Bill, come out and play. Come out and play. They had to come and get me and take me home. But as we grew up, and my brothers went to service, and I can remember the fear I always had in my heart. I was 10 years the younger of them, and worrying about them and coming back, but they made it back. And my brother Johnny, my oldest brother, he's in the Bowling Hall of Fame, and he started a youth bowling league in Aurora that touched probably thousands of young men in the bowling field. And my brother Bill was just Bugger was all by himself. Everybody loved my brother Bill. Everybody loved Bill. As I say, my brother Joe passed away or drowned when he was 14. My younger brother Jimmy, he was always trying to get in our games and stuff, but he was just a little too young for us old guys at 15. And always seemed to be right on the edge of everything. As we grew up, I went on. I was a mailman. Everybody in the Dolan family worked for the post office. My dad, my uncles, my brothers, my cousins. That was security at that time, and I worked there for a year and a half, and then I went into the service and came out. Went into the fire department for 5 years, and but I always wanted to sell. I sold wherever aluminum to young maidens for their hope chest. Made cakes on top of the oven there, on the top of the stove with milk chocolate on them. And speak up a little bit. Okay, I'll do that. All right. But anyway, when I got back and got into the fire department, I always had something in me that wanted to sell. And when I quit the fire department, I thought my father was going to have a stroke to leave the security of the fire department and Social Security, but I had a feeling, and I read 2 books at that time. One was Norman Vincent Peale's Power of Positive Thinking on a religious vein, and another was Jim Jones, If You Can Count to 4. And Jim Jones, his whole thought was he took a seed of corn and planted it in the ground, and nourished it. He kept the weeds away. He kept water on it, kept taking care of it. And the whole thought behind this process was that if you focus on something, want it bad enough, and keep the weeds out, keep the things that would interfere with achieving that goal, it'll happen, and that one seed will turn into a bushel basket of corn. And these 2 books changed my whole life. I was somewhat introverted, and I know in high school people thought I was stuck up. I wasn't stuck up. I was scared to death. But those two books just turned me around. Like I say, I'm scared of dog. Hell, I'd go out and kick a dog in the teeth after reading those books. I've got a lot of odd comments behind me here. So anyway, that started me out in the real estate business, and Jimmy Murphy and I went to the same class over in that little bread box on Liberty Street in Farnborough, in the back room there. Got our license, and we took off. We had a vision of the exodus of Chicago out that tollway to Aurora, and we were probably 10, 15 years ahead of everybody else. Everybody else thought we were nuts out there, out in those cornfields, but it came, and we were blessed to be able to zone a lot of property there. As they said before, what was good for Dolan and Murphy was good for Aurora. That was always our philosophy. I don't think we ever took anything before the Aurora board that didn't make sense, and that's why we were very successful. We had some contentious moments there when we zoned the tollway. My God, that room was filled to the rafters, and there weren't many people there that were happy about it. But that was the start of it all, and it just progressed, and we got so involved. And then my children came into the business. These Brian and Danny. Danny and Brian have been with me over 40 years. And Ryan, he told me the other day he was with me for 27. That wasn't right. Maybe 17, was it? 17, okay. So anyway, I don't want to quit here because I don't want anybody to leave. And then also to add to our group, I have two grandsons with Dolan and Murphy, J.D. and John Daniel and Daniel John. a lot of Daniels in the Dolan family. Very confusing. So they're both with us now for a few years, and I have every no doubt in my mind that my sons, and of course Kara's not in the business, she's in the Cleveland area now, but that my sons will go forward with Dolan and Murphy and continue to. My sons, I have to mention them in particular, and not talking about Ryan so much at this moment, because Danny and Brian have been unbelievable with what they've given back to the community. Danny starting the food pantry there about 6-7 years ago. We're now I think that's from the 1st of November to Thanksgiving. God, they just fill semis full of food and contributions. And Brian's been involved in the head of Marie Wilkinson food situation. Just that they've coached, they've done everything, and so I'm so proud of them, and have every feeling that Dolan and Murphy will continue to be a factor in Aurora for the good of Aurora for a long time to come. And I just can't say enough again about this outpouring of people. I just I could damn near cry. Can I sing Danny Boy? I got a little cold, but I'll give it a try here. Is that okay now? Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the flowers are falling. 'tis you, must go and I must buy. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Ah, Danny boy, oh Danny boy, I love you so. But come ye back, and all the roads are dying, and I be dead, as dead I well may be. You'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I will know the soft you tread above me, and oh, my grave will warmer, sweeter be, if you'll not fail to tell me that you love me. Then I shall sleep in peace until you come to me. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. It's a fine day to be Irish.
Okay, we're going to have the unveiling. Can we have all the grandkids, great-grandkids, great-great-grandkids join great-grandpa, great-grandpa, great-great-grandpa, and grandpa? Right back by the sign. Yeah, everyone. Okay, well, thanks everybody. Hey, thanks for the fire department for bringing out the trucks also. I don't want to leave them out. Thanks for everybody. We're going to have a